We are going to be learning more about how to pass data that is not part of a model. And we have been using view bags to do that. And so we're going to expand on what we know about view bags into view data and temp data, which are additional ways of passing data that's not part of a model. And to help you differentiate between the three different techniques, I created this little table. Basically, the view bag is a dynamic property of the controller class, whereas both view data and temp data are dictionary objects. Okay, they're both part of the controller base class, just like view bag, but they're a little different type of object. So view data and temp data, because they're dictionary objects, they have key value pairs where each key is a string and the value is an object. Now, the difference between view data and temp data is where the key value pair is actually stored. View data has it in the view data dictionary. Temp data stores it in the temp data dictionary. View bags also store properties in the view data dictionary. So both view bag and view data are sharing a dictionary. View bag and view data transfer data from controllers to views. So it's one way. Temp data can transfer the data back and forth. And it can also transfer data from one action method to another. To access the data that is stored with a view bag, it's very easy. It's just view bag dot and then the property name. You don't have to do any typecasting. You can just retrieve it as is. With both view data and temp data, you have to typecast the data before you can actually use it. And how that looks, if we look down here at the actual views, you can see how we are retrieving the view bag. And then for both view data and temp data, we actually use the key value. And then we're converting that object that is stored into a string. So we're doing the typecast. Special considerations. Because the view bag and the view data are sharing a dictionary, within an action method, if you have both a view bag and view data, the property name of the view bags, view bag object, has to be unique. So you cannot use the same key value or key in view data as you do for the view bag property within an action method because they share a dictionary. The special consideration for temp data is that once you retrieve the value, it's the key and the value are removed. Also, temp data is only good from one request to the next request. That's how long it lives. That's why it's called temp temp data. Okay, so there are ways for you to retain the values. Your book goes through several different techniques to look and see what values are in temp data. If you wanted to actually keep the data longer, retain the value, you could actually use tempdata.keep. There's other methods that you can use as well. We're going to be keeping it very basic. I just want you to know how to pass data using these 3 techniques and how to retrieve the data. So this example shows you 3 different action methods in a controller and how you would add data to each one. And then down here, we go through the views so you can see how to retrieve the data. And I should point out here that here we're using for the view bag, we created a little wish list object, and we're adding basically 3 wishes to our list. And then we're taking the list and we're putting it into the wish list property that we created for the view bag. For the view data, we also are using a wish list object that we're adding to. And then you can see that we have to use the key wish list, and the list of our wishes becomes the object. And then down here for temp data, it's the same thing. Okay, so we basically are adding 3 different wishes, and then that becomes the object we're storing. And we are accessing temp data with the key. So how these are processed in the view. Remember, these are lists. So we're going to use a for each. And for the view bag, it's very easy because it's just viewbag.wishlist. Okay, and then we use that little wish variable that we created up here to display, what each item is that we're storing. Then we get into the view data and temp data, and they're both very similar because they are dictionary objects that we're trying to access. So we have to access that with the key, and then we have to do a type conversion to string. So this is how you have to access the items. And if we wanted to change the view data to a view bag, we could, because the dictionary is the same for view bags and view data.